challenging thing is that most recovery programs, most therapists, of course, the 12-step programs, they use the disease-based model of addiction, and that says you have a disease and you have this for life.
Yeah, either that or the trauma stuff, right? Like this is one that I hear a lot of, right? Is something happened to me when I was a little boy. Dad was angry. I didn't have a great relationship. I was sexually, and I'm not saying any of that is a good thing. Like I'm not here to not have empathy for what people have gone through, but that happened, and it happened is what happened. Like you cannot be the driver for the rest of your life. This is something I'm seeing a lot, like in the personal development self-help space. It's like we become like we attach onto these trauma ways of thinking and living. It's like once again it becomes the identity of which we're seeing the world. I'm a trauma person. I'm a trauma victim, so I can never fully succeed in the way that everybody else is doing it. You want to change your life though, realize, okay, who would you need in that moment to prevent that from happening, and just become that person. Like once again, it's rooted in an identity change, but I'm seeing it with the disease and I'm seeing it with trauma as well in a lot of the conversations that we've been having.
Are you familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza?
I love Joe's work. Yeah.
Oh man, the what title of one of his books is it's about not become. Help me with the title if you
Becoming
remember.
supernatural, I think is what it is,
Yeah,
right?
there's one that's one, and there's the other one about basically becoming a new person. Forget the title, but anyway, his work I'm going in depth with for various reasons, and that's his work is identity change. It's identity change. And if somebody tries to break their porn addiction without really changing their identity, um, they're going to use all these tools, techniques, and tactics, which can be helpful. But in in the long term, they're probably not going to have long term success without having that core shift inside, right?
Absolutely, and that's where you'll see, like in some circles, like in the in the business. I spent a lot of time in kind of the business entrepreneurship space. It's just been a world that I've been in for a long time. I do some business coaching in addition to what we're doing at Rebuild Recovery. You hear a lot of the fake it till you make it conversation, right? Like fake your success online, fake all of these other things, and it's like no, just become those things. And I think that there's elements of that is like you have this arsenal, like you're walking around with a toolkit of like trigger, oh let me do some breathing, trigger, let me do something else, let me just constantly keep my mind overstimulated on other things. All can be successful tools, but if it's not rooted in the actual change of an identity, then eventually you're going to use all the tools and you're going to get to the point where we've already talked about it, right? The subconscious is going to want to self sabotage because it wants to create the reality in line with the identity that we're holding.